Hi, my name's Costas.
I'm Chris.
Welcome to the third episode of Magic Tales Weekly Magazine. Again, no one has won the word competition last week.
I gave you a massive clue.
It was pretty...
Huge clue.
Huge clue.
The word was...
Skip.
Skip. And when I read the word, I went, well, that's a rubbish word. That was the clue.
But
rubbish.
But also, I made sure you could actually see some of the letters from the back.
So we've had skip, snip. I think some people have just guessed and haven't watched the show.
We had snip here, all by the same person, so someone was very clear, and that was Danny Weiser.
Oh, you're very close, but now cigar.
Right, we're going to attempt to do something, well, we're going to do it again this week. However, I made the word a bit more obvious.
Okay.
So if you hear him say something stupid...
Yeah.
Pretty good clue.
You know at the start, did you say Magic Tales Weekly Magazine?
Magic Tale.
He did. He said Teo. Anyway. Okay. I think I have the word.
Right, we're going to add another £10 to this one, so it's £70.
70 quid for guessing Yeah. Oops. Right.
I found one trick I can create for £2 that retails for 70. So
that's most of your line. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
This week's
show
or episode, we're gonna look at Waterworks by Uday Jadugar and
Imagination Coins by Garrett Thomas. So enjoy.
Imagination Coins by Garrett Thomas.
Brilliant. In a word, I totally overlooked this when, I'll be honest, when it came out, I totally overlooked this. And then Costas had got one here in the shop, and
I said, have a look at this.
Oh, it's fantastic. Have a look at me performing it in the real world, and we'll talk about it in a moment. I'm going to show you the 40p trick.
Okay.
Do you know why I call it the 40p trick?
It's 40p.
You've seen this before.
Tell you what, she's sharp, isn't she? That's what I tell you.
Rachel, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
Okay, can I borrow your right hand? Just hold it flat like a table for me. Look at this, it's like a proper magic show. You've got your own curtains there and everything. Put your sleeves up. Brilliant. So what we're going to... Sorry. The jokes as well.
Carry on.
They're free. What I want you to do, with that hand there, square those into a nice neat pile for me. Brilliant. Okay, so the 40p, I want you to imagine you're picking one of those up and putting it in my hand. So just imagine you're doing it and you're putting it there. Okay, go. Don't really do it, just imagine it. Okay. Go on then, do it. Yeah, just imagine you're picking one up off the top, okay? Yeah. And you've put it there. Okay. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Okay, move your hand. Now, did you put it there or did you just imagine you put it there? Check it out, it's a real 10p, yeah. We're going to do it again. Right, so what I want you to do for me now is again just square them into a nice neat pile. Brilliant. And then with this hand here, just really pick that one up. I'm going to put your hand nice and tight around them. Put it in my hand. Okay. Now, really, now, like that. Right, like this. Really pick one up. Okay, have you got it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now that time, did you give me the coin?
Yeah.
Or did you imagine you gave me the coin?
I gave you the coin.
No, imagination's a funny thing. Have a look. Thank you.
You've just seen Chris perform Imagination Coins.
Yeah, you do get two routines on the DVD. There's the routine that I performed that you've just seen, and also if you want to, there's a slightly longer routine with an extra sort of second and third phase. Now, I haven't been doing that. I have been doing this at my shows over the last weekend, and I've got to tell you, it went down absolutely fantastically.
Yeah, when you first open the package and you get the gimmick, you think, really? I just paid how much for this?
Yeah, and it's important to say that you do get the gimmick with it as well.
Yeah, and the gimmick is...
It's really well made.
It's really well made. I don't do any coin magic. I've never done coin... I can do a coin vanish and that's about it. I don't do any coins across or use any other gimmick coins and stuff.
Yeah.
But I will be using this. It is such an easy routine to do.
What I like about it, Costas, is there's two moments of of absolute astonishment, really.
Yeah.
When that first coin goes across, now one thing I would mention actually, and this is probably down to me managing the spectators, you do need to have some good spectator management skills. Now what happened the first, I wouldn't say the first couple of times I did it, but maybe I performed it 20 times, and maybe twice in those 20 times they spread the coins before I was ready to reveal that the coin had gone across. If that happens, it doesn't matter, because as soon as they do that, they've seen 4 coins, they go, oh, there's 3, and you produce that one. And I've never had anybody, you know, the second phase goes down absolutely fantastic. So there's 2 moments, pure astonishment.
The first comment you said when you watched the explanation is that's ballsy.
Yeah, very bold.
But when you showed it to me, I had no clue. Even I knew what the gimmick was, it didn't look obvious to me.
It's fantastico, it really is.
It's really good.
Yeah, fantastico.
I had to laugh because fantastico is a very interesting word this week.
I think it belongs in the skip.
That was last week.
So really, we're just going to find out who watches the show the first when it goes up on Friday.
Yeah, it's a test to find out who actually does watch this show.
Yeah. But going back to this, all I can say is, and I've said this a couple of times already on the show, that I'm going to go out and perform it. I did it over the weekend, and it's going to stay in my set from now on. It really is brilliant, so I couldn't recommend it highly enough. And the gimmick that you get with it is really well made. So
well, the first thing when we opened the package, I looked at the gimmick, and the first thing I said, this gimmick is really well made. Because you see a lot of gimmicks produced by various people, but
some are better than others.
The craftsmanship of this, you're gonna, if you brought this gimmick, you'll pay the same for the whole product, but you won't get a gimmick as good as this. It's really well made.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, but anyway, I'll highly recommend. You know, even if you're not a brilliant coin magician, I would think you'd be able to go out and perform this after a little small amount of practice.
I'm confident I can. I can do it. It's so easy. It's virtually self-working.
Pretty much. You've got to be able to finger palm, but you know, at the end of the day, all you're doing is just concealing the coin here. But it's so well structured that there's no heat at any moment. So it's highly recommended from me. So big thumbs up from me.
Me too. Waterworks by Uday Jadugar. Let's watch Chris performing this.
Okay, now what I want you to do for me, have a sip first, make sure it's not vodka. Alright, make sure it's gin. Yeah, Mother's Ruin.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and have a look at that as well, make sure that that's a pencil. Is that?
That's a pencil.
That's a pencil, right? You hold that for me. Brilliant, okay, so it's a bit like, oh, God. Okay. Stunned silence.
That's brilliant.
Of the head? No, maybe not.
There you go.
There you go. Have some water. Yeah, you know,
You get lead poisoning, don't
Yeah.
Go on, you try. Go on, try.
What, turn it upside down?
Yeah, try.
What, just turn it?
Yeah. Okay, go. You forgot the magic word.
You've just seen Chris perform Waterworks by Uday. Chris, what do you think of it?
Well, I've got to be honest. This isn't something that I would have. I wouldn't have bought this because it's not something that I would do at my shows, and that taught me an important lesson. Because not all magic is for things for you to do at your gig. It's incredibly clever. It's incredibly well made. It's something that you can have to use at home, barbecue, casual settings. It's fantastic. I mean, it really is so clever and well made.
We get excited with clever things in magic, and all I can say is, Uday, this is genius.
Oh, it really is.
The fact that you can get a bottle, give it to a spectator to drink from it.
Yeah, and then do the trick.
Take it back and do the trick, and then hand it out at the end for
examination. The handling is so clean. There's nothing to see at all. And this is how easy it is. Costas can do it.
even the visual moment of that.
It is superb.
You know, if I can perform that, anyone can, and that is so visual.
But the nice thing is you can literally put the lid back on, hand them the bottle, and you're done. Unless you hand it to Don, the cameraman.
He will drop it and
it.
reveal everything.
Yeah, but it's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is great. And
so if you like the effect, if the effect appeals to you, it's the best, literally the best version of this out there, Bono.
And from a dealer's point of view as well, you get a lot of customers that ask you, do you have anything that's not card related, coin related?
Yep.
You know, and it's sometimes difficult recommending a product, one that they're able to use as well, because there's so much magic that, you know, not everyone can perform it. This is something I think every dealer would be recommending to customers.
As I just said, if the effect appeals to you, then buy it, because you won't find a better method. And certainly I haven't seen one where you can put a pencil inside the bottle like that before.
Well, before you could put toothpicks in. You had a cheap trick called anti-gravity trio where you can do something similar, but it's only matchsticks and you know, toothpicks.
So with this, you can borrow somebody's Parker pen. I'm just kidding.
No,
you can put a cigarette in there. You can put anything.
If you can put a pencil in there, you know what scope you've got to. You know, there's quite a few things you'll be able to show up there.
So yeah, rolled up £10 note that I could that wouldn't get you beat up, would it at all? Borrow a tenner and put it in a bottle? No, maybe not. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. If you like that effect, you will love this. Yeah,
I do love it, and I think that the method is just genius. The loading, unloading. I have never seen anything in Magic as clear as this. It's so clever.
Highly recommended from me. Big thumbs up from me.
Yeah. Also at Magic Dow. If you buy one of these Waterworks, we're going to give you triple reward points. Now, we're not going to give you free delivery. The triple reward points would actually give you more money back into your online account. Delivery is £2.95. With triple reward points, you end up getting over £4 back. So it's and it also, anyone in Europe would get that money back as well. So it's a great effect. So if you buy it from us, you get a bit more back.
So welcome to the question and answers part of the show. This week the question was, if you're out in a social setting and someone asks you to perform, do you perform? And if so, what do you perform? Now, you've left our viewers in suspense all week, both of them.
Why?
Because you said that you'd reveal what your answer is this week. So before we get some of the feedback we've had, come on, what do you say, and what do you and what do you do?
My answer is no, I don't perform. I don't carry magic with me. You know, I come in this place at 7:30 in the morning, sometimes leave at 7, 8 o'clock. The last thing I want to do is start performing magic at night. Yeah. However, if we're working on a new effect and I want to try it out in the real world, I will have it with me. There is one particular effect I've always got with me, and it's mentally exposed by Romanos, which is on our mentally. It's the phone trick on mentally exposed. Okay. Which is a mobile phone trick. So I've always got my mobile phone on me, so I've always got something I can do. However, I don't perform that whenever someone asks me to perform a magic trick. But if I do perform a magic trick,
is that an impromptu trick?
You need. It's not an impromptu trick, but it can be if you've got someone on standby to help you with it.
Okay, right. Enough said.
Yeah, you do need the stooge. You know, it's the only way this trick could work. But if you have a look at the performance, it is a fantastic trick to perform. However, if I have got a magic trick and I'm going to perform to someone and someone asks me for a magic trick, I don't perform it at that point. I wait and bring the trick out when I'm ready and I'm in control. I don't want to say, oh, yeah, I'll show you something. You know, I'll get ready in my mind.
So you're putting yourself back in control of the situation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not desperate to show someone a magic trick. So I just do it in my own time and when I'm in control and I feel I could give a better performance.
Okay, so interesting. So some of the feedback we've had, we did have a lot of feedback on Facebook and on YouTube and things like that. Overwhelmingly, unsurprising really when you consider what magic is, and it's all about involving other people. But overwhelmingly, the response was yes.
And it's an interesting range of tricks as well.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it is. But literally, sort of, I would say 3 out of 4 people said that they would perform. We did have a few people who said they wouldn't perform, and interestingly, they are professional performers who basically didn't feel that they wanted to perform when they're not being paid. Now, I find that interesting. If I'm out with friends and stuff, I do perform, and I'll tell you why. I touched on this last week, but basically, this weekend, for example, this coming weekend, I've got a show for Marks and Spencer's, right? And that came about from showing some magic to a lady who works at Marks and Spencer's, right? So you do get bookings off the back of it, right?
I can understand it from that point. If I was a full-time performer,
yeah,
and my income relied on going out and performing, then of course I'll be performing to everyone, because you never know who you're going to perform to.
That's right. But as someone said on the group, on the Facebook group, they said show them the tip of the iceberg, which is a good point. Show them a couple of things. Don't do your entire set.
Yeah.
Some people. A lot of people said that they've always got a pack of cards with them.
Yeah.
Right. John Carey, fantastic card man. We all know John. John said he's always got a pack of cards with him. Right. Quite a few other people mentioned that they've got stuff in their wallet all the time, which is a good way to go. I have my diary effect set up in my wallet ready to go. There's other things that I've carried in the past that people have mentioned, like Powerball 60, the Richard Sanders effect, Extreme Burn, and all this kind
Someone
of stuff.
out there, I think he had all of Richard Sanders' products in his wallet.
I think he probably did, yeah. Even the rope for fibre optics. I think he must have a big wallet. So the other things that got mentioned, a few times, the 5-and-1 transpo trick. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Jay Noblezada teaches it on one of the Penguin DVDs, I think.
It's one of his coin DVDs, isn't it?
It's on the money DVD, yeah. That's it. So that's a really nice thing you can use. Carry around in your wallet, makes sense. Okay, so if you haven't seen that, might be worth checking out. A few people mentioned they do coin tricks, so they carry a gimmick with them that they can add to borrowed coins, etc., or a bit of sleight of hand. Someone else, Mark Waddington, mentions he's always got a bill switch with a £50 note inside it. Now, I know he's a pro magician, so I think he's lying about that.
And also he uses a mobile phone trick as well, which is the one on this DVD, which I perform as well.
He did mention that, didn't he? Yeah, that's right.
We will do at some stage actually show that. We do a performance of it.
Yeah.
Alakazam have got it as a download. They're the only people who give them permission to.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, Christian Stania mentioned something that you touched on earlier, and I must admit I do this as well, is if I'm working on a routine and I want to practice it, I don't want to practice it on my paying audience. Yeah. I want to practice it on people where A, they'll give you genuine feedback, and B, quite brutally honest if it doesn't matter if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So Christian says whatever he's working on. I went out and performed Imagination Coins in my local bar the other week, local pub, and it got great reaction, so I knew that I was on something. So basically the answer seems to be yes. Now, before we leave this section, John Allen, who we mentioned last week for his fantastic destination box.
Have you made any yet?
Yeah, have you made any, John? I don't think you should. I think he says he carries.
Don't say what John Allen says until he brings me one.
John said, carry an envelope. Inside it, have written, I predict when I say I'm a magician, you say, show me a trick. Now, I'm pretty sure his tongue was in his cheek when he said this, I think.
When I read that,
would be quite funny.
I had to laugh. It's actually, it was quite
funny. It is quite
funny.
I don't know whether I'll get away with that in a pub in Willenhall,
I wonder if he's ever tried it.
Yeah, let us know, John. Okay, so that's the question and answers for this week. So the question for next week's show, this came about from a discussion that we have in here.
Is it Quentin Reynolds?
It was Quentin Reynolds who mentioned this, and he said do magicians rely too much on card tricks? He'd been booked by an agent, and basically the people who booked him for this show had had a magician the year before, and all he'd done was card tricks, and the audience didn't enjoy it. So Quentin was booked on the understanding that he did no card tricks whatsoever. Now,
you can talk for a long time on this specific question, because it's so everyone's got their own opinions on this.
Card tricks are brilliant, aren't they? You know, I do in my strolling pre-dinner set. I do quite a lot of card magic. Now, we won't go into any more about it this week. We have already had one answer that sprung from that, from Sean Carpenter, which we'll mention next week, okay? But for the time being, the question for next week is, do magicians rely too much on card tricks? Okay, so that's the question and answers for this week. Thank you very much. Okay, so Costas, people often ask me if I cheat at cards.
Do you cheat at cards?
No. Okay, I'm joking. Sometimes, in fact, I'll give you an example. The other week, there was a gambler, right? And he asked me if I wanted to have a gamble with him, basically. So the game was, we had to basically draw some cards each, and whoever got the best hand won. Right now, what I should have done is cut to an ace, right? That's what I should have done. But I ended up with some really rubbish cards. So basically, I had some really poor cards here. All right, you can see these. Now the way this worked is these were his cards here, okay, and these were my cards here. I turned over my best card, right, which was a 10, and he turned over his first card. Okay, so obviously 10 is a better card than a 6, right? So he turned over his next card, okay, and I turned over my next card. Right, so I've got a pair of 10s that's better than this, yeah. So he then turns over his next card, and I'm thinking, I could be in trouble here. So I turned over mine, and I've got 3 10s, well that's better than that, right? So then he turns over his next card, and I'm thinking, well hang on, I'm definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble here. So that's when I got the 4 10s, right? But it's at this point that I realised that if his last card was the 9 of hearts, he's got a running flush, yeah. Right? Sure enough, he turned it over. So I had to reevaluate my cards, right? So that's when I cheated. Did you see the move then?
No.
Did you see the move? That's when I cheated. He got a running flush. So I changed my cards into a royal flush in spades. Thank you.
You just seen Chris perform this week's Blast from the Past, which is Derek Dingle's Outflushed. Now, this is a trick that I've had in the box ever since I started Magic Now. You know, it's one of these things. Down. And you sell a few and you got one remaining and it's just left there and you forget all about it. So we're going through to see what can we do for this week's Blast in the Past. And you haven't heard of it before.
Nope,
so
never seen it before. So
I go to you, okay, have a look at it and tell me what you think.
Yeah. When I learnt it, I showed it Costas and his eyes nearly popped out of his head.
The ending, you don't expect the ending.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
No, absolutely not.
It's brilliant. I mean, it's easy. It has to be, let's face it. It was very easy to perform. The reset is very, very quick. So if you're in a position where you can do a little bit of card cheating, or you're doing any of that type of routine, it's fantastic. So you get basically what you get with this is you get the booklet that teaches you the routine, and you also get 2 special cards that have been, as far as I can tell, being specially printed.
Yeah, they've been custom printed for this routine.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of it. It's great. It's brilliant, and it's quite cheap as well. Was it about $18 or something like that?
Yeah, it's not
12 quid.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's more than £15.
Yeah. So it's it's a great routine. So I would, that's it. I would highly recommend it. Really.
No, absolutely.
If that was released now with a DVD, you know, teaching the routine, you probably sell that for 20 quid.
It will probably be a 50.99, 70.99 effect.
So
it's great. it's amazing. It's just been sitting there, and it's actually a really good effect.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's gone under the radar, hasn't it? So if anybody buys it from us, we can have a little free video download where I'll just quickly run through the moves.
Yeah, because
you can learn it from the booklet, because I did.
Yeah.
Although it took me, maybe a couple of hours probably.
A couple of hours, yeah, it's just to remember the sequences as well.
Yeah, so we'll have a little, sort of basically a practice section download for you, so you can just follow along with the cards in your hand. A bit easier for you. Okay, so that's Derek Dingle's Outflushed.
We had a few emails and Facebook messages from people asking how they can subscribe to this weekly show. Well, there's a couple of ways. This show will be coming out every Friday around 11 AM UK time. The easiest way to get notified is subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a subscribe button on the top left of your screen. You'll get updated every time we upload a new video on there. Also subscribe to our newsletters. We'll be sending out a newsletter every Friday when the show goes live, and also telling you what's going to be included in this show. The other thing I wanted to mention before we leave is Waterworks by Uday Jadugar. We mentioned we have a triple rewards for this product, which would automatically be added to your account. So if you purchase it over the next week or two, that would automatically be done for you. You don't need to do anything. And we have them in stock, and they selling pretty fast, so we suggest you order pretty quickly. The other thing is we finally have some more Octopalm. We just had a couple of dozen of these arrive. We've already sold 3/4 of them, and I'm not sure that our distributors have got any more in stock, even though they were only shipped a couple of days ago from their new stock levels. So that's it for this week, and we're going to end with a trailer for Octopalm, and you can see what all the fuss is about.
Octopalm is a new utility gel with endless possibilities. It adheres to almost any small object stuck to the skin. It provides gecko-like ability so that you can perform impossible tricks. Octopalm has thousands of uses, limited only to your imagination. The possibilities are tremendous. It's far superior to skin adhesives like wax, glue dots, or double stick tape.
Chris, if I can get you to help me, I have 7 dimes here, and I'm going to count them into your hand. 5, 6, 7. You have 7. I have 0. This might feel a little strange.
It's always ready and easy to apply on the fly. It leaves the skin smooth with no residue or stickiness. I know a lot of magicians use Golden Touch and a few other lotions specifically for working on second deals. In my opinion, and I'm going on record now by saying I think this is the best product on the market for second deals. I can't do this with my index finger. It's got no Octopalm on it.
It grips.
But it grips this. And I suck at second deals. I'll be honest with you. I am not great at these things at all. But this makes me feel like I'm Ricky Jay. You know?